we just watch?
Invasion of Astro Monster.
Invasion of the Asshole Monster.
I've called this movie Invasion of the Astro Monster for probably like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
There's no "the" in the title.
Yeah.
I'm recovering from AIDS right now.
Yep. Me from hepatitis.
Yeah.
We've got our own things going on right now. Separate projects.
Separate but equal, I'd say. Tonight's presentation, have you seen it before?
No, I actually hadn't seen this one before.
At all?
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen like, bits and pieces of it, but nothing really. Yeah, it's like one of those ones you see like little bits from, Godzilla jumping around.
Dancing around the
shit.
moon.
Yeah, dancing in
the
the
moon.
street. Before we get into anything, let's go ahead and let's do a rundown of the plot.
Well,
Let's
how many
toss it
times
up.
have I seen this movie?
How many times have you seen this movie?
I was probably seen it a couple times. Yeah, I've seen this movie probably a couple times.
I've seen this movie a couple times.
No, actually once.
Really?
Well, now a
yeah,
couple
you watched
times.
it with our colleague Ricky.
Yes, I watched it with our friend when I was on that spree of watching all those movies, those Godzilla movies that I hadn't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the last one I watched, I think, and this one I remember liking a lot, and this time I still liked it a lot.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too.
Yeah.
This is a solid.
Ever since I saw it the first time, I kind of regarded it as like, one of the high points.
Yeah, it's pretty untouchably good.
The Showa series. What else do we usually talk about before we go into the plot?
How's your day?
My day was absolutely horrible, and this movie made it even worse.
All right, let's get into the plot.
All right.
So we begin with Glenn and Tetsuo. Is Tetsuo the guy on the spaceship, or?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy here. I don't pay attention to the names.
Okay, it might be Tetsuo. Tetsuo also might be the inventor, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah,
a couple of astronauts on their way to space.
One American, one Japanese. And they're going to a newly discovered planet called Planet X. This is taking place in 1960X. What a coincidence!
It's actually not a planet. It's a satellite.
What?
It's a satellite.
Oh.
They discussed it in the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
It's actually one of the moons orbiting Jupiter, which is where the civilization was in the last movie.
Yeah.
So they're going there, and the reason they gave it's newly discovered because they said it was too dark before. They said they got like new telescopes, and as retarded as that sounds, I think that's actually how it works.
Yeah, it sounds retarded just saying it was too dark. But
Yeah.
I believe you're actually right.
Anyway, it's a satellite behind Jupiter.
Yeah, but they call it Planet X, so I'm gonna call it Planet X.
What next?
Okay, so they get to the planet and they go down, they get on the planet. And
Yeah, they get off the ship.
They give each other a nice thumbs up, and then they go down.
Right.
And they're just kind of looking around. Do they have a particular mission? If they do, I don't remember it.
They were establishing some kind of... Glenn was setting up a machine while the other dude put up a flag.
Yeah.
Don't know what the machine was for.
That dude, that had like 3 flags on it. It had the Japanese flag, the United Nations flag, and America.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity.
They might have just been doing like a survey.
Maybe. I mean, just going to there is a pretty big deal, so it doesn't matter, really. So,
Then they get kidnapped by aliens.
yeah, they go down under the surface. Glenn disappears, and
the spaceship also disappears.
Yeah, without him hearing, he's like 10 feet away. About
The Japanese
must
guy.
have been, the Japanese guy. We're just gonna call him. Yeah, we remember the fucking American's name.
They just said it so much.
They did say Glenn a lot. Yeah, it sticks out too in a Japanese movie.
They were really. I think this one was like they were trying to push it for an American audience. So they were like, I think in the English version he's speaking English. Like they dubbed him in this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But they go down there, and then there's some cool alien Nazis.
Yeah.
Down there, and they got some cool sunglasses. They look like an electropop band from the 70s.
And they have curly-toed elf shoes.
Yes, they do. That's how people are going to dress in the future, if you didn't know.
So the aliens tell our main characters that they're in a bit of a pinch because King Ghidorah is, constantly flying overhead.
They have to wait for him to leave.
They have to live underground because King Ghidorah is like constantly electrocuting the surface.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, we need to borrow Godzilla and Rodan to be. We know that they beat them before, right? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, we need them, please. We'll give you the cure for cancer in exchange for Godzilla and Rodan if we can borrow them for 5 minutes.
The cure for all cancer.
All cancer, all types of cancer. It's that simple.
No more cancer.
They're like, all right, let's go talk to the manager, and we'll get back to you. And so they go back to Earth.
Take a quick trip back to Earth.
Yep, and they're like, hey, these guys want to give us the cure for cancer in exchange for Godzilla and Rodan. And they're like, I don't know about them, but sounds good. It gets approved by both the medical part of the committee of whatever committee they have, and the
housewives.
The medical community and housewives approve it. So they go ahead with the plan.
Yeah.
And before they can really go back and do anything, they find out that these they don't call them Exalians in this one, right?
No.
They do later on though in the series, right?
I think Exalians
Is that like
are
different
different.
ones? Okay.
Technically.
Well,
they might also come from a planet called Planet X, but that's
we're gonna have to
a separate continuity.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, these aliens are already on planet Earth, and there's also this guy who's got an invention that screeches.
Okay, so I have a little note written on my notepad.
Okay.
Rape alarm is what I wrote down because that's what it's called. Or not what it's called, but they call it like the lady guard.
Oh.
And it's basically
make that fucking connection.
It's a rape whistle, basically, but like I think it's supposed to look like one of those like little mirrors that women have.
Okay.
So that like if they're getting raped, they can press it and it makes like an extremely loud noise.
Yeah. Okay. I completely didn't make that. It went completely over my head.
It's weird to have that be such an essential part of the plot, a fucking rape whistle.
Yeah, yeah, that is weird. But anyway, so this there's also a girl that works at like the space station. Her brother is the Japanese guy that went to Planet X, and she's dating this guy who invented the rape whistle.
Right.
Electronic, the first electronic rape whistle. Anyways, yeah, that guy's like, he submitted it to like a toy company, I think is who accepts it.
I think she jokingly calls it a toy company, but I think they're not.
Okay.
But he's trying to sell his
but
patents and all this shit. And
he gets an agreement. He gets a contract with this company.
Right.
And guess what, motherfucker? It's run by the aliens.
But we'll get to that later because that doesn't play a role right now.
Round 1. Fight.
Well, yeah, it does because they're already on Earth, and that's what they're operating under. That's what we're on right now. So the aliens are already on Earth.
But it's kind of a reveal later on.
Whatever. But
the aliens are on Earth, but they're not telling people that they're running this toy company or this whatever invention company, whatever bullshit. So there's just like 3 ships underneath a lake where Godzilla also is.
There's also a house.
There's a house on an island.
Yeah, they call it a lodge,
which I'll get to later.
Yeah. Glenn has a girlfriend that he meets up with and goes to that lodge, and he says he might have saw the guy from Planet X there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, but she's also one of the employees of the company.
Yeah.
The invention company.
The inventor guy's trying to talk to her so we can get his. Because they've stopped talking to him.
Everybody's chocolate is in everybody's peanut butter right now.
Yeah.
In the plot.
The aliens were here all along, and then some spaceships come out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of them comes down after like a day, and the aliens talk to the Pope and everybody else.
It's the same aliens that were on the planet.
Yes. And
for some reason the Pope is in this movie.
Yeah, he has a serious presence.
We call him the Pope, but he's like some kind of priest who has like a
religious leader, Japanese religious
Pope-esque
leader.
hat on.
Yeah.
And he has like one line in the whole movie, and it's about praying.
Yeah, how they should pray.
And he's with like all the government leaders, the military leaders. He's just with them the whole movie. They don't really mention it. The aliens come down and they say, "Sorry, we didn't mean to be here.
Out.
We didn't mean to be here when we weren't invited, but if we waited any longer, Godzilla and Rodan would have woken up and they would have done damage to your planet, so we kind of had to be here.
Right.
And they go, okay.
They snatch Godzilla and Rodan.
Yeah, they say, go ahead and take
out
the
of
monsters.
water. He's got his legs drawn up. They smashed his legs, and he's getting taken out of the water.
Kind of like...
He's in, like, the fetal position, kind of.
He's not, like, in the fetal position, but almost, because, like, his legs aren't, like, pulled up to his chest. His legs are, like...
straight up to his chest. Like, if
yeah.
you bent them at, like, the pelvic joint.
Yeah, like,
up to you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of... He's folded.
Yeah.
And,
Rodan is straight with his wings.
Yeah, Rodan looks like he's fucking dead.
Yeah, Rodan looks like he...
like he curled up and died.
Yeah, he looks like you find the cat under the porch.
Yeah.
After a couple days. Oof.
So...
kind of dusty. But yeah, they put him in some spheres, and they take... so then they head back to Planet X, along with another guy from Earth, and like some type of military.
Well, both
or space.
astronauts.
Yeah, both astronauts. I was gonna say it, but both astronauts, and like I think it's like a one of the higher ups of the space.
Yeah, he was like leading
program.
that mission, I think.
Yeah,
from Earth.
Yeah, so they go back to Planet X, and they get they put Godzilla and Rodan there.
They have a little scuffle with King Ghidorah.
Yeah,
as soon as they get there.
King Ghidorah flies off.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's working.
Yeah, good job. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And they say, like, yeah, it's all thanks to you Earth guys.
Awesome.
We're doing it.
You guys are awesome.
So they hand over the cure for cancer to the astronauts while they're there.
Yeah, do the astronauts snoop around?
Yeah, the astronauts snoop around for like a minute.
Yeah, and they find Glenn finds some girls that have the same face as his girlfriend back on Earth.
Yeah.
So some stuff happens with that, and then they get the cure for cancer, which is a piece of styrofoam. They call it a tape.
Gold.
They call it a tape. It's styrofoam spray painted gold.
We get like a super close up of it, so you can tell it's just straight up styrofoam. And there's a point when it exchanges hands. Yeah. And they just left like the squeaky styrofoam noise in the movie, like when they hand it to each other, you can hear like the
little tiny squeak.
It's pretty funny. It's like a gold. It kind of looks like a pizza box, but it's got like a little circle carved in it.
Yeah, and they call it a tape, and then they bring it back to Earth, and
they play it on a reel-to-reel player.
Yeah, somehow it's just like tape all of a sudden. I don't know. Maybe it was just a box. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe the tape was inside of it.
Yeah, they bring it back and they start playing it, and they're like, all right, let's hear the cure for cancer.
Yeah, and like everybody's listening.
Yeah,
and
they're like, oh boy, I can't wait to hear the
Hall
cure for cancer. Oh boy, the big reveal. And then it's like, all right, we're going to invade your planet. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to fuck up your planet, dude. If you resist.
They said you're going to become a colony of Planet X.
Yeah.
We're going to take over by force.
Yep, they didn't even give him really a chance to surrender.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just going to go ahead and attack.
And then the surprising part for me was they do it for a while.
They kind of win for a good little bit.
Earth is under alien rule for a minute.
Yeah.
So Glenn meets up with his girlfriend. They kind of cut to like a little bit in the future.
Yeah, after some destruction's gone on.
Yeah.
And don't they put Godzilla and Rodan back on Earth, and they
put
all
control. 3 monsters.
Yeah, they're under their control, under the aliens' control. All 3 of them. They're using magnetic rays.
But they don't. They wait to sort of wake them up.
Yeah.
Until like the final phase of their plan.
Mm-hmm.
But in between that, Glenn finds his girlfriend, and his girlfriend, who is an alien. It's been revealed since that all the toy company or the whatever company. Yeah, they're called like Education.
The general, something. The company that guy was trying to get his invention, the rape whistle, and the girl, his girlfriend's like, Glenn. He's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not falling for this shit again.
Yeah, and she's like, no, I actually love you.
Yeah, she was like, I was sent to study you, but you became more than a subject to me.
Yeah.
And
please.
She's like, I made arrangements for us to get married under the new alien law. She's like, that's the only way you'll live. And he's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then the fucking aliens kill her.
Yeah, they show up. He's like, "Let's get out of here. You want to? We shouldn't let computers tell us what to do."
Yeah.
And then the aliens show up and they
liquefy her.
Yeah, they fucking slowly. They shoot a little beam at her for about like 20 seconds, and she slowly dies.
Yeah.
She just kind of fades out of existence, and he's like, "You fucking killed her."
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Glenn seemed like a cool guy.
Yeah. They really hit it off.
Yeah, I'd say it was really cool. But yeah, she gets fucking dead.
She straight up dies forever.
Yeah. Also, the girl's boyfriend, the girl who works at the space program, this guy who invented the rape whistle, becomes imprisoned at the lodge.
Yeah, he tries to get to the bottom of why they aren't giving him his money.
And he goes down a fucking trapdoor, and he's
locked up for most of the movie.
Yeah,
in this alien jail cell.
And then Glenn gets thrown in the same cell. They take him away. They don't kill him for some reason. Oh, they're going to use him as a guinea pig.
They keep calling them guinea pigs, but they never do anything with them.
Yeah. Maybe they're just waiting. They're waiting on funding.
And then that's when they wake the monsters up, and there's a little section of the movie where all three monsters are romping through cities.
Yeah, there's some cool we'll get to it later. Yeah, monsters romp through cities, and then they figure out how to block. They figure out that they can use like some type of laser to block the aliens' control of the monsters.
Yeah.
So they do that, and they weaponize it, and they put it on the backs of trucks. Mm-hmm. And then around that time, the man who invented the rape whistle figures out that the rape whistle also immobilizes basically the aliens.
The aliens
can't stand the frequency. He has that on him for some reason.
They didn't confiscate that.
Oh, she put it in Glenn's pocket, I think. Remember, she like stuffed something in.
No, that was the note.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. She just because he reaches at the
I remember.
The rape alarm guy reaches into his own jacket to get that. They take the rape alarm, they turn it on, and then they get out.
Yeah.
They escape, and then they decide to weaponize that by playing it through some big ass speakers.
Yes.
That in conjunction with the rays that are stopping the
mind control.
Yeah, mind control beams.
Yeah.
Basically the aliens are fucked. The monsters flip out. The monsters don't know what to do, and then the aliens, their ship starts like falling apart and shit, and then they self-destruct.
Yep.
All the aliens are dead, and then the monsters start fighting.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad fight.
No, there's some pretty good stunts. Honestly.
Leaps and bounds better than that last movie.
Oh yeah, big time.
And it's kind of a quick fight. But it's good. They get down to the.
They get some good ones in there. They don't fuck about.
Yeah, there's no bullshit where they're like falling and shit the whole time.
Yeah. There's no. Yeah, they're not like stuck in one position for like 5 minutes.
Godzilla starts punching Ghidorah in his head.
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
It's just. And that
kind of what we were talking about in our last review. That Godzilla kind of had an opportunity to do that,
but he didn't.
Yeah, he just sort of rubbed himself against King Ghidorah, and this one he just walks up and starts swinging,
boxing. He squares the fuck up.
Yeah, he's punching King Ghidorah in his head, and Rodan's grabbing his tail so he can't move anywhere.
Yeah,
and then they switch. King Godzilla grabs the tails, and then
Rodan crashes into King Ghidorah, and they go tumbling hard down a cliff.
Well, Rodan picks up Godzilla. This is a little bit later.
Oh, yeah.
Rodan picks up Godzilla, and they slam into King Ghidorah, and then there's a cliff out of nowhere that they go tumbling down.
Into the water,
and then King Ghidorah flies out.
Away, and then they watch him go, and then Rodan and Godzilla are still in the water, and they're like, do you think they're dead? And they're like, nah. And then the guy's like, all right, Glenn, Japanese guy, you're both going back to Planet X.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? And then the movie ends.
You're right.
Yes.
So
I think we got it all covered.
Yeah. It's a very
thick plot.
The plot is fucking crazy in this movie.
Yeah. It's really good. I really like this movie.
One thing I noticed is that like the monsters are kind of like Godzilla is kind of becoming like the least interesting part of these movies.
Yeah.
But like he's the only thing that carries over from movie to movie.
Yeah.
Like, because he's
tonally even,
completely different characters and shit.
Yeah,
And
the presence of Godzilla really, like, the designs change you. You know, like, he doesn't even look the same in all these. Yeah, this movie was pretty. It really wasn't a very Godzilla heavy movie. There's only like 4 scenes tops that really feature Godzilla or any of these giant monsters. Really,
I mean, they play a role in the plot, but
totally. But they're more plot devices than like revolving around them.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
like they usually are.
Aliens and the humans. The aliens trying to get the humans are the main thing. You know, there's not much else.
So I touched on it briefly when we were given the plot rundown, but this is one of the moons of Jupiter that these aliens are coming from.
Right.
Jupiter is also where the civilization was.
Yeah.
That was destroyed by King Ghidorah. I'm thinking that they never say it out loud. I don't even know if this was ever like they were gonna mention it or if this is canon in any way, but my prediction is that since from the beginning of this movie, the King Ghidorah is under the control of the aliens, I think he was probably sent in the last movie by them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought of that too.
Because he just sort of pops up in the last one and gets fought off by the monsters. There's a couple plot holes in this movie that I want.
The aliens are not elaborated upon in the last movie either. So
there's no. They don't even mention aliens in the last. Oh no, they do.
No, they do. They
kind of
I don't know what the fuck it was about.
But they never say like King Ghidorah was sent by aliens.
Yeah, they just say King Ghidorah fucked up our planet.
So this one, I think because they get the astronauts there and they're like, can we borrow your monsters? I think they were originally just going to take Earth by destroying it, and maybe they took over Jupiter too. I don't know. But I think their plan was to destroy Earth, and they sent King Ghidorah, and he was defeated by all the monsters. And so they were like, well, let's just get those monsters and start using them too.
Okay.
I think that would be cool, and it fits into the canon. There's no real discrepancies. They don't mention it in the plot in this one, but like, kind of why would they?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't be like, yes, it was us who sent him last year.
Yeah, you can kind of apply some headcanon to it.
Right. It's not that far-fetched with all the shit going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're plot holes. Let me ask if you've noticed these. So the aliens ask for the permission of the people on Earth to get their monsters. Why did they do that?
I don't know. Maybe it was to catch them off guard to invade them is the best explanation I could probably give.
Well, I feel like catching them off guard would be better pulled off by just doing it out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even know the aliens from Planet X existed.
But then we wouldn't have a plot, Grattan. That would ruin this whole plot.
I don't know. They probably could have still had the thing about like figuring out how to destroy them and be like, oh, our monsters were taken by aliens. But the aliens were already on Earth. Like, they didn't need the Earth people's help to get there. They already knew where the monsters were and everything. Like, the people on Earth didn't even know where the monsters were.
Yeah, this all could have been done in one trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come there, you mind control them, and you fuck up the whole Earth. You bring King Ghidorah along, and you fuck everything up.
Second, this is less of a plot hole, more of like a what the fuck is going on. Last movie, all 3 Earth monsters were fighting off King Ghidorah, right?
Right.
And the aliens from Planet X, whatever you want to call them, they number the monsters. King Ghidorah is 0, presumably because he existed before the other ones, or they just knew about him first.
Right.
I think they call Godzilla Monster 1 and Rodan Monster 2, but it really doesn't matter. They're 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So they don't mention Mothra.
Yeah, I noticed that. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the rights to Mothra. Maybe they just didn't want to fuck with Mothra. That was too much for them.
I can understand why they didn't do it from a movie making perspective. I think that would have been a little much involving the island and the fairies and shit.
Yeah, but they don't even mention her.
Yeah, they don't mention Mothra at all.
They say like Godzilla and Rodan defeated King Ghidorah.
Mothra pops up again in the series, so she's not dead.
Yeah,
because then the bloodline would have ended. I really don't know why. And the Earth people, the Earth people suggested in the previous movie that they use Mothra to fight off some of the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, they don't. When they, because there's a brief period where they're like, okay, now all the monsters are attacking Earth. So I don't understand why Mothra is never even considered when, I don't know. It's just kind of like, you saw the Winter Soldier Marvel movie that for some reason everybody liked.
Of course, I see every single Marvel movie.
I the whole time I was watching that, I was wondering, like, where the fuck are the Avengers? And, like, why... Right. I don't know, because there's like major shit going on. Like they revealed that S.H.I.E.L.D. was just like
Nazis.
Yeah, straight up Nazis.
Super Nazis.
The whole fucking time. Which is really fucking convenient. And for some reason, the only people they can get are like fucking Captain America and his fucking sidekick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the fights.
Fights are cool. Well, I want to mention there's some cool destruction in this movie. It does go on a little bit long. At some points, but I mean, it's something you're gonna have to get used to if you're watching these movies. If you're doing your homework and watching these movies, there's some cool shots. I noticed they use like a large scale Godzilla foot to like crush some houses.
That might have just been zoomed in.
I don't think so. It looked, I don't know. They look too detailed.
Because they showed like a shot of his tail doing the same thing, like on the same scale, and it just looked like a zoomed in shot of.
Yeah, well, fuck you, dude.
I just don't, because, I mean, I don't know how much, maybe it was larger, but, like, not much larger, because it looked like zoomed in to me.
Well, fuck me, huh?
But they were a little different than what normally gets shown. I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know, there's a good bit, it's just one of those destruction parts where there's effort put into it. It's good, most of it. Just goes on a little long, but the fights, I mean, there's one, I was worried the first time around when they fight on Planet X, because I was like, oh fuck, Godzilla picks up a rock and starts throwing it, and I was like, oh shit, or is this going to be another rock throwing fest?
Yeah.
And they kick a few rocks, but they're kind of done with it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They ram Rodan into King Ghidorah a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
They kind of put him on a zip line and slam into him. Last fight's pretty good, and like we were saying,
there's a lot of destruction scenes in cities.
But
for some reason, the fights, one happens just on Planet X, which is fine.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the one on Earth just happens like on a hillside again.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a bummer.
Cliffside.
Yeah, cliffside. I just wish, because I understand it's more costly to do a fight in a city because you have to destroy all those miniatures, and those are pretty detailed.
Yeah.
But they do like a ton of destruction scenes in cities in this movie, which
so much so that I wish they had fought in it.
Yeah, like, it showed me that they weren't, concerned about wasting money on city.
Yeah,
like
they were blowing up these miniatures. They were just blowing them up.
Right.
Like of course they're just like painting lightning and shit over. The frame, and they're just planting explosives in these models.
Yeah.
I
read a little thing on one of those bonus features that we got. It said that King Ghidorah had like extremely limited mobility. Like the person inside of him had like only control of the legs, I think. And I heard something separately that like the guy who played King Ghidorah was like really strong. Because, like, nobody had to do it. Or nobody wanted to do it.
Right.
Nobody wanted to do it because, like, your job is basically, like, just to hold up the suit.
Yeah,
stand in
those
it.
heads,
like,
the
everything.
wings.
The wings and the heads and the tails are all controlled by wires.
Yeah.
So it's not like Godzilla where, like, you kind of control. You are the monster. It's really just, like, you're supporting. You're the frame of it.
The puppetry goes on. Yeah.
But it looked good, and last movie we said that King Ghidorah was really floppy.
A little less so in this one.
This one, way less so. He wasn't kicking his legs like he was in the last one.
He does it a little bit, but it's definitely improved.
He's just moving a little more naturally.
Yeah.
And the heads are a lot better. They weren't getting like fucking just thrown around.
Right.
It looked good. The monsters looked okay. There was a kind of close up of Godzilla's face. And he looked a little rough.
Yeah.
Rodan, as always, looks fucking awful.
God, he looks so fucking stupid.
Rodan's, I don't know, like Pinhead.
Yeah,
He's got this awful little tiny head with these ugly eyes and a
beak jammed into his face, you know.
None of it's symmetrical or anything.
God, he looks awful. He's always got some goofy ass eyes.
Yeah.
You know.
King Ghidorah looks good.
Yeah.
It's probably the same one they used in the last movie, but it looks good.
It seems like they definitely figured out a little better how to puppeteer him.
Yeah.
They're getting the hang of it.
They might have just spent more time with it, honestly.
Maybe.
They might have just rushed that last one out.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot more monster stuff going on in that last one, too.
Yeah. We have our third person saying, "It's Godzilla."
Yep.
They say, "It's Godzilla." So that's really interesting. I noticed.
Yeah.
It was extremely interesting.
Extremely fascinating, in fact.
There were some points during these fights where I just found myself getting a little more engaged than normal because they were doing more interesting stuff. Like they had Rodan carry a rock and drop it on King Ghidorah, and they had King Ghidorah, Godzilla like kind of jumped into him on Planet X.
Yeah.
It really, it got me kind of excited to see what they're going to do in the new movie.
Yeah.
Not to date this podcast, but it's just exciting seeing like the monsters are going to be kind of fully realized.
Yeah, totally.
In a way that they haven't been able to be before.
Yeah, because they're trying on this one. They're like trying to, use like Rodan can fly, so he'll pick up Godzilla. They're like using their stuff a little more,
Right. And they're trying to keep it interesting, and it's working pretty much.
Yeah, I think one of the things that really makes these fights work in comparison with others is that they don't go on for fucking ever.
Yeah,
it really might be a good thing that this movie centers more around the aliens and the humans more than the monsters, because without it being centered around the monsters, you don't have to make the conflict between the monsters last the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
or something. You don't need to fill out that space. You've already got so much shit going on with the aliens that you can just kind of you can hit your beats with the monsters and keep going, and everything's still interesting.
And the monster fights are really kind of distilled down to what is more interesting.
Yeah.
Or what would be like kind of high notes of a regular monster battle in these movies. It works.
The plot of this movie, like we said, the plot is pretty thick. A lot of stuff going on. Like you said, everybody's chocolate is in everybody's peanut butter. Or peanut butter is on everybody's chocolate, depending on which way you swing. But there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of subplots. This movie's mostly made up of subplots.
Yeah.
I think the story works pretty well for most of the movie. I mean, in the beginning, I think it kind of drags. And I was thinking about what I would have thought of this as a kid.
Yeah,
as a little kid, and I don't know if I would have liked it that much, because I would go into it wanting Godzilla, and I would I probably wouldn't think I'd hear Invasion of the Astro Monster, and I go, that doesn't sound like a Godzilla movie. It doesn't have Godzilla in the title.
I think it has another name.
Does it?
Yeah, let me look it up.
Okay.
Keep talking.
I was just saying, as a kid, if I like got this from Blockbuster and put it on, started watching it, for the first 20 minutes or 15. Godzilla doesn't get mentioned, until they ask him, can we please have Godzilla? We don't see Godzilla anywhere or anything, So if I were a kid and I'd gotten this from Blockbuster or something, I'd be like, did they put the wrong disc in here? Did they put the wrong tape? Did I get the right movie? This doesn't seem right. This is like a space movie. In that way, I think it kind of drags at the very beginning a little bit, and like you were kind of saying, it's like really unnecessary for them to keep going back and forth between this planet. Plot wise, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Godzilla versus Monster Zero.
Okay, yeah. What do you think you would have thought of this as a kid?
I'm with you there. I don't think I would have been too crazy about this one, honestly. Because there's little to no monster action. It's all at the end. But then again, when I was a kid, I liked King Kong, and there's a lot of people stuff in King Kong. I mean, probably more monster stuff than in this, but I think I had, a little more tolerance. But yeah, this probably wouldn't have been one of my favorites.
Yeah, there's a lot of talking in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I just wouldn't have listened to.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't think I would have been crazy about Godzilla dancing.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm all right with him talking to his friends. I would have been all right with him, talking with his friends just like I do. But him dancing, doing that goofy little dance. Yeah, I gotta say, I probably would have been like, "What's going on with that?"
This one, everybody says that last one is where he begins his descent into becoming a hero, and this one is like, I'd say like even less.
Yeah.
Sort of child oriented than the last one.
Yeah,
with the exception of that dance he does.
Yeah.
But they have Godzilla fucking laughs in the last one.
Yeah, I know.
He laughs like a person, and he's like talking. Anyway, but yeah, this has a more mature plot. And on one of those bonus features, they said like it was re-released in 1970 for like a children's.
Yeah, like a children's film festival or something.
Yeah, something. And it was like, this is not one that you'd want to show to a kid.
No, yeah, it wouldn't keep their attention, I don't think.
Yeah.
There's not like,
Yeah, this one's not one of the really kiddie ones.
It's got enough going on, but it's not for like a kid though.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Maybe the kids had better attention spans back then, but
before, iPhone and YouTube
and email, all that stuff that kids
Facebook,
are doing.
Yahoo, all that stuff that
Bing.
kids get on. Oh God, Bing. My son gets on Bing and he doesn't get off for 7 hours. He does Bing for 7 hours, and I tell him,
My grandson would rather shit in his pants than go take a break from Bing to go to the bathroom.
Oh, God, tell me about it. The bastards.
Motherfuckers.
I hate young people.
I hate the youth.
Why can't they read like I did? Why can't they get cancer like I did? What the fuck? Characters. Yeah. I thought the characters were pretty good. Maybe it's because I'm an American, but I liked Glenn a lot.
They spent a lot of time
with Glenn.
Yeah, they really gave Glenn a personality, or maybe it was the actor.
Maybe
he was trying to do like a cool guy kind of thing.
Yeah, he's chill, It's
like, yeah, sorry, babe, I gotta go to space real quick.
Yeah, she's like, please marry me.
Yeah,
don't go back to space. And he's like, I'm gonna go to space and then I'll come back and marry you.
They really tried to make him cool. They gave him like a fucking gun a couple times.
Yeah. Glenn was not gonna marry her.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'll marry you when I come back.
But yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, I liked him.
I also remember his name because they said it a bunch.
Yeah. Glenn.
Yeah.
His girlfriend starts screaming that.
There's a line in the beginning where the Japanese astronaut looks at him and he goes, "Okay, Glenn." It's like one of the first lines of dialogue.
They're like giving each other like little hand gestures.
Yeah, they're always like they'll get kidnapped by the fucking aliens or something, and they'll look at each other and give like a thumbs down. Like,
oh no,
this really stinks.
Yeah, man, poo poo on this, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a team, this Japanese guy.
I did buy that.
Yeah, they're totally like friends. They're always giving each other thumbs up. They do the OK hand symbol, also known as the white power hand symbol.
Yeah, by some.
Yeah, by certain intellectuals.
But yeah, they do stuff a lot. Like they met up for lunch one day.
Yeah.
Like outside of like the space program, they're like buddies.
Yeah, I know, they're like friends. It's cool. I like I think we kind of were touching on this, but I like Glenn's relationship with his girlfriend, his alien girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's like
ends in tragedy.
Ends in tragedy is one of the poster gallery
quotes.
Quotes says is that romance ends in tragedy. It really does. It's kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah,
I didn't want her to die. I wanted Glenn to have a girlfriend, and he seemed to care about her.
Yeah, and they had chemistry.
Yeah, no, they
even though they
did.
were briefly on screen together. But we touched. We didn't say much about it, but there's a note that she slips into his pocket right before she dies. She eats shit.
Yeah,
and
she pretty much knew she was gonna die.
Yeah, and he like opens the letter while he's in alien jail, and it says like if you're reading this, I'm dead. She was like, you gave me happiness I never knew I could have.
Yeah, it's just like, thank you for showing me freedom.
She was like, I love you so much, and also the weakness to the aliens is noise.
Yeah. I was making a joke about Glenn like reading that like completely in pain, like just crying like no. Like those Pepe and those cool Pepes. That funny frog on the internet.
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name? It's like Fred or something.
But there's a part when the brother character, the inventor guy, right before Glenn reads that note, because he's the only way he knows that lady is that she's the bitch who kept like dodging his phone calls when he was trying to get his paycheck.
She's an alien.
Yeah, she was lying about being a human, and she was also lying about giving him a paycheck for that funny rape alarm that he made.
That funny rape alarm was also supposed to make his girlfriend's brother approve of their marriage. So he could be successful.
So he was pissed at her, and so Glenn's like, I got a letter from this girl, and he goes, oh, that lying bitch.
And he opens it, just like, I love you. I'm dead now.
He calls her a lying bitch.
Yeah.
No exaggeration.
Yeah, totally.
Exact quotes.
I think it's in, it has an exclamation point on the subtitles.
Yeah. That lying bitch.
That lying bitch. Jesus, dude. Fuck.
And it comes out of nowhere because the rest of the movie, like, the worst they say is, like, damn.
Yeah, no, totally. They don't really curse in these movies a whole lot.
Out of nowhere, he says, bitch. He calls her a lying bitch.
It's like, oh my God, dude. Jesus. But, yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a part earlier on in the movie whenever the guy's testing out his rape alarm. It's kind of when we get introduced to him. And he's got like a landlord or a mother or something. I think it's his
mom.
Mom, yeah, and she's got a baby tied to her back that looks like it's fucking dead.
The baby's like sideways.
Yeah, it's like diagonal. It's crooked. It's like hanging. It's just
flopping around.
Yeah.
While she's doing chores and shit.
Like washing dishes or laundry or whatever. And it's just like.
Yeah.
I don't know why they choose to do that. You know, us Americans, we build a box for it and we put it there.
Yeah.
While we go do our things. I don't know. I don't understand these Eastern ways when in Rome.
Anything else?
Let's get into Don Fry territory.
No.
All right.
We haven't talked about the island. So, there's an island in this movie. It's not Infant Island. It bears a striking resemblance to Monster Island. I noticed when they're showing like the exterior shots of it.
Yeah.
It looks like Monster Island, and I don't know if that's like the same footage they use when they're introducing Monster Island.
Just might be. They haven't quite started.
Yeah, they haven't even done it yet.
Stock footage yet, but they're building up a cachet.
So yeah, the lake that Godzilla is hiding in or asleep in at the beginning of the movie, behind that lake or like in that lake maybe, I don't know. There's an island, and that's where the lodge is.
Yes. On
that island, which is where the aliens are operating, and.
Needless
not much to say.
Island's not real.
Well, I didn't look it up. They said the name of it once. They call it was like Menke or something. I don't know. But why is there an island in this movie?
I don't know.
It's again one of those situations where there didn't need to be an island. There's a part where they said like, "Let's go to the island," and I was like, "What?" And it was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, it took me a minute to realize that was even on an island.
They could have just had it on a fucking mountain. They could have just had like the house like on the other side of the lake.
Something, but yeah, it's kind of weird that they put it on an island in a lake.
Yeah, it's weird. Another situation with these fucking islands. Every fucking movie, like they're going to fucking space in this movie, and they managed to put in a fucking island. You know what I mean? Like they have all this.
They're kind of space islands.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, now I can get into Don Fry territory because that's all I had to say about the island.
You want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
Okay.
This is a cool movie. Maybe I like it so much because I've only seen it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. We kind of made fun of this movie a little more than we normally do, but I think there's like more of an abundance of shit to make fun of than normal. It's really cool. A lot of people say, like, this one's kind of heavy with sci-fi. Like, this movie kind of gets bogged down with sci-fi. I don't really agree. I mean, what is Godzilla? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Godzilla's fucking sci-fi. Like,
I wouldn't say bogged down,
No, I mean, they have astronauts and they go to the fucking moon.
There's worse in this series.
Yeah, down the line, there's, they do wackier shit than that. But it's cool to see because you're spending most of this series, this huge series, in fucking, like, rural Japan or, like, countryside Japan.
Tokyo, if you're lucky.
Yeah, it's cool that they went to a fucking another planet.
Yeah, they put in effort to make this one different.
Classic, 60s. Like, there's a big matte painting behind them and all these styrofoam rocks everywhere. It's exactly what you imagine.
Totally.
When you think of, like,
is the heart
cheesy,
of camp. Campy
cheesy 60s
sci-fi. It's iconic almost, really.
And that's cool that they went there. They didn't really dwell on it too much. And the characters are a lot stronger than usual. They're a lot stronger than the characters in, like, Godzilla versus Mothra or something like that.
Yeah.
This one, I'd say, I said last one, people would consider that maybe like the Showa series in its prime.
Right.
I'd say this is arguably the Showa series at its best. And it goes on for a lot longer than this. This isn't, even close to the end, and it kind of picks up towards the end.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
But this might be my favorite Showa series movie.
Really?
I like this one a lot, and it's just a strong movie.
Yeah.
It gets to that point where it's like almost a decent, like, real movie for the time.
Yeah.
I wish there was an American Blu-ray of this. The DVD we had, not great.
Got kind of a cool cover, but
yeah, it's got a cool thing going on, but it's just old.
Yeah, it's just outdated. Really,
yeah, this movie just needs a nicer release.
Yeah, this is like a big one too.
Yeah,
it's iconic. It's one of the iconic ones. It might be one of those things where it's like all licensing, like somebody wants $2 million or.
Well, I think
some shit.
I think Criterion has it now.
Oh yeah, they bought. I forgot. I keep forgetting they bought all
the
those
Criterion
Showa
got
series.
It. But a little bit on that. I noticed that there's a few that they didn't buy out of the Showa series, and
really.
My theory is that they're waiting to get their hands on like the 3 or 4 that they don't have before releasing a box set.
I don't have a problem with murdering my own parents
for a DVD, for a Blu-ray box set of Godzilla movies from the Criterion collection.
I wouldn't look back. I wouldn't blink.
Cool movie, and it kind of sets the bar. It's weird because like it's like simultaneously like the best of what these movies have to offer and the cheesiest of what they have to offer.
Totally.
Because people, what they associate with Godzilla, there's certain images that they associate. The guy with the rubber suit stomping cities, fighting other monsters, people running away, the military. It's got all of that, and like even though it's cheesy, it doesn't linger on it like some of the other ones do, and it doesn't let itself get slowed down by all that shit. And it really has a sense of identity as a movie. Like, it knows exactly what it wants to be.
Totally.
And it just really doesn't fuck around in executing what it needs to. I really enjoyed this movie. I'm going to give this movie a whopping unprecedented 9.5.
Whoa. Whoa. Hey, whoa. Well, yeah, I don't want to echo too much of what you said, but this movie simultaneously satisfies 2 needs. It's like you said, it's almost like pretty much like a good real movie.
Yeah.
But it also has a bunch of shit you can make fun of if you want to sit down with somebody and say, haha, that guy's gay, haha, what if he was...
Yeah, what if they killed the aliens and then stomped their fucking nuts out?
That's an example of what we were doing. We were joking about the guys breaking out of space jail and stomping the nuts of all the aliens that they disabled with the rape whistle.
So they couldn't
for
get
no
back
real
up.
reason, just stomping their nuts.
The way of incapacitating them.
Yeah,
by
they're already
brutally
down, but they're
stomping
just like,
their nuts.
Yeah, like that shit's not coming back.
Yeah.
But haha, what if all the aliens were gay and they were having sex? Haha.
Yeah.
It's
funny jokes like that.
really funny jokes like that, well-structured, thought-out jokes.
Original jokes like that.
Like haha homo. It is really fun. It is fun to make fun of. We were making fun of it a good little bit, but it still satisfies the need of like keeping you interested because it doesn't get bogged down, so you don't like get bored and feel the need to make fun of it. You know, you're like interested in it, and it's moving along at a good pace. And there's also goofy shit going on at the same time as that, and it's absolute entertainment value.
Right.
You will get a bang for your buck on this one. How much is this DVD right now? A lot.
I paid like $30 for this DVD.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like, it was one that came with like a collection of movies.
Yeah, there's like a series of those with similar covers.
Yeah,
right?
and it's a nice collection, or at least it was for the time. It's like nicer than that one that we have.
Totally, yeah.
It has like a ton of movies, and they're all like nice, and they have like
silver cover. They have
nice
like, cool
DVD
covers. They're
menus.
not like standard covers either. They're like these silver cover. They're
really really thin, so you can fit them all into a box.
Yeah,
that it comes with. But I just bought this one because I didn't have that set. I just picked this one out.
Right. But
you might be able to get this movie a cheaper bootleg DVD or whatever from eBay. But this movie's like way too overpriced for what it is.
Yeah, totally. But if you're gonna, if you want to go watch one that's fun, you know, this is up there with, I'd say up there with King Kong versus Godzilla, not in the same way, but with the entertainment you can get from it, total entertainment is it's good. And the characters, like, there's actually the strong stuff about this movie, like actual strong stuff. It's not ugly.
No, yeah.
All the time, you know, it looks all right for most of it. There's nothing really eye-popping or anything.
Yeah,
for most of
like
it.
A beautiful movie, but
beautiful film, beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good. I mean, yeah, there's not much. I think we've pretty much said everything. All you really need to know is good, and you should probably watch it. I'm gonna give it 8.5 to a 9.
Yeah.
I'm not quite feeling a 10, but 8.5 and maybe a 9 is
yeah,
it's about where I'm at. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah.
Would you show this movie to a film class?
I might, just to, you know, like, to show them what, I mean, you know, if we got like a spare day and I just want to show you something, you know, you can come to this class for extra credit, you know. It's like the week of finals or something, you know. Anyways, you know, it's a perfect example, like we were saying, of this 60s camp, you know, of the sci-fi camp. It is so at the heart of that, and it embraces that almost. It has a sense of identity, like you said. It's really got its own thing going on. I'd say it's iconic in so many things. These tinfoil spacesuits with big helmets.
Yeah.
You know, these spaceships, the monsters, these aliens in goofy outfits. I mean, it's so great. It's really good. It's just really good. I'd show this to a film class and be like, you see like stuff in like, I don't know, cartoons and like other stuff, you know, where they kind of call back to this era or whatever, you know, this has been made fun of, parodied, you know, referenced to, you know, exhaustion. I mean, you know, I'd show them that like this stuff was real. These were real movies, you know.
Yeah.
And nobody really talks about movies like these anymore.
Right.
Not seriously, at least, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this movie's great.
I think this is a great example of like they've totally fucking like long gone is the discussion about nuclear weapons.
Nukes are out the fucking window. They're gone.
I think they mentioned something about nukes in this movie. Like they say like we'll have to use them, don't they? They say like we'll have to use them if worse comes to worse, but they don't say like
it's not some type of subject that they try to bring up. They're not trying to debate anything about it.
This movie's it doesn't have a message, and it's like totally fine that way.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't have any kind of agenda besides like
liberal agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't have any kind of motivation other than like I want to show you a
Monster
cool
fight.
movie.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It is entertainment, and it knows it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I don't think this was like a super successful one.
Yeah, nobody
Japan.
really talks about this one either. I feel like nobody talks about that. Everybody's on their shit about Godzilla versus Mothra for whatever reason.
Yeah,
I don't know. One person said that that was their opinion, and then I guess that's my best guess is that a bunch of people just echoed them.
Yeah.
Domino effect.
This one's awesome. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Totally, yeah. This is there's a lot of what's great about Godzilla.
Let me find out what we're watching next time.
All right.
Next episode, we're going to be watching The Giant Claw.
Oh, cool. I haven't seen that yet.
I haven't either.
All right. It's
We'll
gonna be a
see
learning
you
experience.
next time, motherfuckers.
Whoa.